Hello everyone, this is Diane. I finished the 6 smash books that I was working on. This is the only one that will be in my shop. The other ones are claimed. In case that confuses you, if you were aware, I don't take reservations or special orders for my junk journals, at least for the moment. But a friend of mine had requested a smash book, and she didn't specify what kind of smash book, if I can say it right, smash book that she wanted. She just wanted one. She wanted to buy it for herself for her birthday. So I told her I would make several and that she could choose which one she wanted. And since I didn't know how popular the smash books would be as opposed to the junk journals, I went ahead and told people if they saw a cover they wanted, they could select one. So they were selected pretty quickly, which tells me that smash books are popular, so that's a good thing to know. I do have more to make at some point, but my next project is going to be another junk journal. So I want to show you this one first, because this is the one that will be in my shop. And I do want to say the roofers said that they have a couple more days to work, but they're here today, and it sounds like there's some pounding right outside my craft room, so you might hear some pounding. So this one is an old book cover. It was this blue. You can see how vintage this cover looks. And it was an American Heritage book, I think, one of their publications. And I covered up the front of it with tissue paper and some cut apart images from the paper pad that I used, and this is just a strip of paper from that paper pad, and then some tissue on the back. Got a little nodule of something on the bottom here. Okay, and then I used little strips of paper to wrap around the edge. I didn't do it on the front, but I did it on the back. So this has a travel theme. You don't need to use it as a travel theme. The images in this pack, which was a pack of Amy Tangerine paper, some of them were geared for travel and some of them were just cute and funky and bright colors. So use it as a travel book if you want to. This is the end paper, the original end paper for this book. And it was torn here, so I added a strip of paper and I stamped this little luggage tag to use as a little spot to write your name. So then we have a lot of bright colors, and I used some stamps. It says date of travel here. This is a sticker that I added to this sheet. And I made pockets. Just added an extra strip here for decoration. Stamp up here has some flip-flops and it says relax, don't worry. There were quite a few cut aparts in this, so here's one of them. And here's a tag that I made with my Cricut. This is something I glued at the top here, favorite memories. I just stamped some arrows. And I created this little pocket with a thing that I cut out with my Cricut and added some little tags. This came with the kit. It says celebrate today. This is just something, an old printable that I've had. It says this one time. And I think somebody sent this to me, but it's an old-fashioned diner and gas station where you would stop if you were on the road traveling. Some washi tape added here and some journaling spots. This is itinerary, date, what did I see, places I went, cool things, and people I met. And down here is another little journaling section that says where we went. Then there's just random tigers in this paper set. So maybe you're going on a safari or a zoo. There's a piece of acetate with the pattern on it. And there's some more of those tigers in with the tropical flowers. Stay wild. This is from a different pad of paper. It was this size. I forgot. 6 by 8, I think. 6 by 9. Make a Life You Love. These are a couple of the cut aparts. I sewed them together to be a pocket and then bound it in. It says Destination Unknown and Wish You Were Here. And then there's a giant tag. It says Trip Meter. I just decorated it with a strip of the paper. And then here is one of the cut apart pieces. You can write on the back or put a picture there. Here's a definition of travel and a little arrow. This is an envelope made out of wallpaper, and I just decorated it with some of the cut apart elements. Sometimes you just need to make your own luck, it says. And then greetings from the world. A couple of strips of paper, and inside, was I going to glue that there? I think I was. Inside this are the leftover cut apart pieces and some of the smaller strips of paper. So there's quite a bit in here that you can use. Love that patchwork piece. Coffee cups. This side we have pocket for 3 tags, and I made these tags with my Cricut with a picturesque cartridge. This one says went to, and then you can check the mountains, the city, the beach, or the desert. Some airplanes here. What an adventure. Some washi tape. Cameras, pretty colors. This is a stamp that says Destination Fun. There's a compass and some arrows stamped down there. And this page just has art supplies, paintbrushes, pens, pencils. There's a little bit of glue there from the tape gun. And there's a little compass that I cut off an old sheet of scrapbooking paper that I've had. And another tag made with my Cricut. It says Life is Beautiful. It says I am. And then over here it says lucky, so they could go together. I am lucky. A little bit of washi up there. And in the back there's another envelope that I decorated. And decorated the flap. And put some more pieces in. There were a lot of leftover pieces. There was a lot to cut apart here, so. And that's not all. All of those pieces are in the envelopes, plus I have this sheet of leftover stickers with tickets, destination, road trip, you were here, you know, things like that. Day 1, day 2 that you can check off. So I'm going to send you the rest of those, and then all the little strips, you could see how I use them to decorate the edges of pages and pockets and things like that. So you can have those strips. And then these larger cut-off pieces you can have. These are all the pieces that I cut off those sheets of paper. So you get a lot to play with this journal. So this is a really fun journal, and this one will be listed in my shop. And the shop will be linked in the description below. Now I'll show you a couple more of the other journals that have already been claimed by people. I thought you'd just like to see them, and also let the purchasers see what they're getting. So this one is the one that Alicia chose. She's the one that requested a journal to begin with, and like I said, she did not request a certain theme, but once she saw the covers and papers that I had selected, she chose this one because the papers had more of a steampunk look. So then I made it more steampunk for her, since I realized that's what she wanted. So I did show the making of this cover, or decorating of the cover anyway. I chose paper that has these old rusty locks on it, and just this mottled black and gray on the back. And this is paper from that someone sent me. She sent me a stack of these foiled papers from Switzerland or something, and they're used to wrap chocolate. So I crinkled it up and cut it and rubbed some ink on it, and then just put this label on it. So I got to use quite a few stamps in here. This is just Tim Holtz laboratory set of stamps, which I thought was cool for a steampunk journal. And up here it says Create Magic. This was something I just cut with my Cricut. And I have this little postcard. I used some printables from Ephemera's Garden from Steampunk Voyage. But this one might have just been a set of cards. I don't think this went with the Steampunk Voyage set. And these are just some cards that I had made for a mini album that I recently took apart because it was coming apart. And I saved these cards because I love this paper. It's a Seven Gypsies paper, I think it is, and it has a little bit of twine in there for a handle, so you can write on the back of that. And then just a little journaling card, and it's backed with some more of that Seven Gypsies paper. I took some pages from my steampunk coloring book and put them in here so she can have fun with them. Here I just used a light bulb paper clip and just clipped on a scrap that I ticket cornered, and this little Graphic 45 craft playing card. This has been in my stash for a long time. It's like a leftover piece from this pad of paper that I had already used. I love this paper. Love the greens. This is a sheet cut off from the paper. This is from Ephemera's Garden. Time flies. Yeah, they're pounding right outside my window here now. This is basic gray paper. This is a piece I cut with my Cricut, glued together, and then stitched it to some vellum with some black thread and messy stitching. And here's a tag that I had made. This lady has gears in her hair, so I thought, and on her clothes, so I thought this was good for steampunk. It says, "Don't forget to fly." This was another little piece that came out of that mini album I took apart. It's a little library pocket. It's got a window in it, a little copper paper clip there for decoration, and this little tiny tag. I'll put that in later. It does have a tuck behind it, so I put these pieces in. Yeah, let's tuck it in there for now. Use some more stamps here and washi tape. It says, "Art is good for you." Another of the laboratory stamps. And this is from Ephemera's Garden. It's a little library pocket and a couple of little cards. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And like I said, this is Steampunk Voyage. This piece of green was also from Steampunk Voyage, one of the ephemera pieces. This is a wallpaper pocket again, and it's got some metal arrow paper clips. And inside are some more of the Ephemera's Garden pieces, a couple more of the cards that came out of the mini album. That's from Ephemera's Garden. Just a variety of things that you can use in your journal. And on the back, I made a pocket with a piece of leftover paper and one of the Ephemera's Garden images, and put a tag in there. I love those greens together, and there's a little bit of green behind her, so I think that all looks really nice. This is from an old, well, it's not old, it's from a smash book, a K & Company smash book that I bought on clearance. and I just have been taking the pages out and using them in journals. And this has an old phonograph, and it says, "Back in the day, this was my jam." Trip down memory lane. This one has a double pocket, and inside are cut-aparts from Ephemera's Garden. These are from Steampunk Voyage, and these are a separate printable. I think it's just a set of these ladies. I can't remember how many are in this set. Another coloring book page. Some washi. I stamped a gentleman down here, and it says "Embrace Possibilities." This was a lock that I made with my Cricut, with some gray and black cardstock. A piece of Ephemera's Garden, ephemera, journal card, and then this piece had come out of my mini album. So she can put that wherever she wants to. And this also came from the Cricut, and a couple of journaling cards. There's a graphic 45 stamp. I think it's graphic 45. And it's a man riding a fish with gears in it. Very steampunk. Could be this man. And there's some washi tape. This is also from the Smashbook, K & Company Smashbook. Another one of those elements that I made on vellum. This is just a little journaling card, printable. Trying to figure out which way it goes. It goes that way. And a question mark paper clip with a couple more printables. There's a pocket I made with two pieces of cut-offs. There's a cut-off card, another cut-off card, and this is from Ephemera's Garden, a little coin pocket, coin envelope. There's an octopus with a dive helmet on. That's from that graphic 45 stamp set. This I made with my Cricut. There's a piece of the map paper and two digitals. Oop, this came right out. I will show you, since that happened, if a page or part of the page slips out of the coils, you can slip it right back in, but I'm going to tighten that up because that whole thing shouldn't slip out like that. You can see it goes right back in, and I will make sure I put that in my bind it all again and just squeeze it a little bit tighter. And then in this back pocket, I showed a video making this with the pleated gusset on the side and just some more cut off pieces. And I did use a paper clip to secure them into this pocket. And then all of these leftover pieces come with it. Lots of things for her to play with. So there's your book, Alicia. I hope it's what you wanted. And I'll do one more in this video. This one is the Fern book cover. A lot of people liked this one, and I like it too. It was just a beautiful cover. And again, I put some paper around the edges. This book, the steampunk book that I just showed, was completely covered, so it wraps right around those edges. I did a video covering this book. But But this one, I did not put anything on the cover because it's just gorgeous the way it is. And those are the original end papers. This is a cut apart from the book, from the paper pack, which was, it was kind of like an 8.5 by 11, but maybe a little bit bigger than that. It wasn't a 12 by 12. I think it is 8.5 by 11. But it did have some nice cut apart pieces, and it was perfect for this fern cover. That was made with my Cricut, and this is a printable fern tag. This is part of the paper pad that I used. Keep going, keep growing. Love and happiness blossom from within. I made a pocket and I stitched on this printable of moths. Everyday Beauty. I found my plant cards that have the ferns on them, so I included quite a few fern cards. And she can decorate them any way she wants to. You can glue some paper for writing on, glue a photo on them. And this is something that I had made a while ago. It's a time card with a vintage tea card on it, or cigarette card. Some vintage lace, vintage coat room check. And then I used some craft paper to make some tags to stick in here. This is vintage fabric too. And here's a page from a botanical book, and this is a page with ferns on it. I used some other papers along with the paper pad, the main paper pad that I used. There's a stamp down here. This is a cut apart from the paper, and so is this. Some washi. This is one of the botanical cards, the plant cards, that I actually collaged on. So I put it in here to give her an idea of what she can do to decorate those cards if she wants to do that. See, isn't that perfect for the fern book? A little bit of stamping here. It's a little botanical postage stamp, and it's down there again, and just some green leaves stamped. A few thoughts, it says. That was made with my Cricut. This is old Stampin' Up! Paper. Old. These solid color sheets also came with this pad of paper. This is the envelope that I made out of wallpaper, and it has some of the cut aparts, a couple of cards with ferns on them, some digitals. This plant card came from a florist, just a scrap, various pieces, a tag that I made with my Cricut, and a couple of the fern tags, printables. This paper doesn't have as much of the leftover cut apart because this tablet of paper was pretty much the right size. I didn't cut paper off of it. Here's another fern plant card. It says bloom, and then this cute pocket I made with my Cricut. Some stamping here. This one has 3 pockets, and this is a tag I made with my Cricut. It actually says this is a laurel, but it was the closest thing to a fern that I had. This is Stampin' Up! Paper. This was made with my Cricut, and then I just punched circles out with my large circle punch and put them in the center. A cut apart card, and a florist card, and another tag that I made with my Cricut. It's just glued up there to be a decoration. Love this paper. It's got some gold in it. Just some stamping here, very light, so you can write over that. One of the cut apart pieces, nice big card, another plant card. And then this shows what happens when you don't take something out of the pocket before you punch. It slid down there and got punched. I made this with my Cricut. I left it in there. You can throw it away if you don't want it. I kind of like it. Topiaries. Another botanical page with some more ferns. Another pocket made with my Cricut. There's another fern card. Well, that came out too. Guess I better make sure these are all squeezed tight. I'm not going to do that right now. And a few of the cut apart, or cut-offs, I mean. Alright, so that's those three, and I'll be back to show you the remaining three in the next video. Bye-bye.